Hey there, ladies and gentlemen. We're going on to Unit C, Light and Optical Systems. We're going to actually be doing what the district wants now, and I'm going to probably be taking and removing a few things from the PowerPoints that are on D2L. So if I was you, my main focus would be focusing on the videos that I post as well as any lessons that I post. If you want to go ahead and look at my original PowerPoints and the original lessons, go crazy. Okay, that's perfectly fine. This is a fun unit. I enjoy this unit. I'm seeing where we would be doing the eyeball dissection, so I'll unfortunately have to put a video up for the eyeball dissection. And I like to take some risks in this unit. In the past, I've done some poster projects. I've done, you guys had to act out some skits and things like that. We'll see how that goes. I want to try to integrate Flipgrid into some lessons. I know Good Shepherd's been doing that, and it's been great for them. So we'll see how this goes. But the first unit, the first section, it's kind of a history lesson. You guys are gonna have to go over some scientists and some of their contributions to the theories of light and the workings of light and how light works. Okay. And that all leads to the properties of light, which lead to the light up your life demonstration, which you guys should have already done. That should have been the first part of this unit. So here we go. Here's all the things that we're supposed to be doing. This is all from the program of studies. You guys don't care about that. I care about it. It's what I have to make sure I teach you guys. So topic 1.1 is the challenges of light. Okay, so let's flip to the next slide. And don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Okay, so the first person we're going to talk about is our friend Archimedes. So my class, we talked about Archimedes already earlier in the year when we were talking about density. Archimedes was the dude that couldn't figure out how to measure the volume of inanimate or objects that were not liquid, where you could measure it. So he was the guy that jumped in the bathtub, sat in the tub, just pondering away, realized the water rose, and he had the epiphany, had the excitement. He said, "Eureka!" And he jumped out of the tub and ran down the streets, buck naked, yelling out, "Eureka! I figured it out." Okay, and that was the whole displacement of water allows you to measure your volume. What he did also with mirrors, so his big contribution to this unit was he actually planned on using mirrors and the sun to fight battles. So you can see in this really archaic old picture up here, he's got some mirrors up at the top here, using the sunlight to shine down and then go and burn these ships that were coming in and attacking, kind of like something you'd see in a movie and whatnot. Okay. In theory, this is great. I'm sure you guys have used mirrors and lenses and things like that to play outside and catch leaves and things like that on fire. Shouldn't do that though; it's not safe. But for sure, in theory, this was a great practice. If I was the attacking ships, I'd just make sure I'm attacking on a cloudy day. That would be my counteract. But still, in theory, it worked. Then we're going to talk about our friend Pythagoras. And those of you that already had math this semester or last semester, you know Pythagoras was our friend that worked with the triangles and a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Okay, ingenious. Thought he was a genius for that. The way he thought light worked was light came out of our eyes. So in order for us to see, we open our eyes, light came out of our eyes, flew to an object, hit that object, and then bounced back to us. Okay, so that's what Pythagoras thought. We hear that and we think, what a moron, right? What an idiot. Like, who would think that light comes from our eyes, hits something, bounces back? What happens at nighttime, right? At nighttime, you can't see. The sun goes away and it's dark, okay? Sure, the stars are still giving some light. I don't know, maybe he thought we needed to go to sleep and recharge our eyes. I don't know. However, his belief was actually accepted for many, many, many years. Okay. And truthfully, there was one part of his belief that was really, really smart. Okay. So once again, he thought you open your eyes, light came from our eyes, hit something, and then bounced back into our eyes so that we could actually see it. Part of that, really local. Part of that, actually pretty good. Part of that actually did make sense, which is something, and it's something we still believe today. Okay. So he wasn't an X-Man or something like that. Then we've got our friend Euclid. Euclid discovered that light can be reflected and that it travels in straight lines. This is really, really, really important for for that demonstration we have. And he demonstrated this by using mirrors. Okay, so light travels in straight lines and it can be reflected. Both of those are two very, very important properties of light. Tomley, I think that's how you say it. Maybe it's Tomley, something like that. He was observing how light going from one medium to another bent. Okay, so if you were shining light maybe from from air to water, he noticed that the light, as it was moving, it bent. Okay, and it traveled in a different direction. So he determined this with light and glass, but you see this in your everyday lives with water. If you're in a swimming pool, I know we got a lot of swimmers in class. You throw those rings in the pool and you have to dive in to get it. Okay, well, the ring's not where it appears because of this. Al Haytham. I loved Al Haytham. There's a nice sketch of Al Haytham. Al Haytham was the first person to actually discover how light or how vision worked. So he took the studies of Archimedes, not Archimedes, Pythagoras, and he thought about it, and he's like, okay, well, wait a second, I can't see at night, right? Like, this can't be recharging because even if I don't go to sleep at night, I can still see in the morning. Okay, it had to do with something else, but Pythagoras was accepted. He was accepted for his belief was accepted for many years. So what Al Haytham discovered, or what he was able to do, was describe how vision actually works, and it's actually accepted today. So the way he described vision is light comes from other sources. Oh, I've got a lamp right above me. The light from the lamp is coming down, and it is hitting this mouse. Okay, so the light comes, hits the mouse, and then from there it bounces to my eyes. And with the combination of the light hitting the mouse, bouncing to my eyes, and my brain doing all the things that the brain does that we talked about in the nervous system, we're able to see. Okay, so he disproved that light comes from our eyes. Again, we think of Pythagoras as a really smart guy. He thought light came from our eyes, kind of local. But he also accepted accepted the fact that the light bounces off the object and comes back to us. Both Pythagoras and Al Haytham agreed with that. Okay, so remember that. That's actually one of my test questions. So I'm not sure if you're going to get a test question on that, but you need to tell me the differences and the similarities between Al Haytham and Pythagoras's belief in how vision worked. Then we had our friend Sir Isaac Newton. I have no idea if that picture works. Ms. Stahl found that for me. Or if that's actually him, I should say. Looks pretty good if it is. But yeah, Sir Isaac Newton showed that white light is actually a mixture of different colors. And he did this by shining it through a prism. I'm sure you guys have seen this before. He's got in the picture on the side here, he's got a prism where there's light coming through and it breaks up into the different colors of the rainbow, the Roy G. Biv that you guys learned a long time ago. This was a pretty important discovery about that Newton discovered, and we will be we'll be posting a Bill Nye video that goes into this a little bit further. So make sure you know he was the one that discovered how light is actually a mixture of different colors. Ulmer and Michelson, particularly Michelson, they were the two gentlemen that discovered the speed of light. And this is really cool the way they did this. They went up into two different he went up into two different mountains, used some really, really technical equipment. And on one mountain, they knew the distance between the two mountains, and one shone a flashlight or a light or something like that to the other, and using very, very precise instruments. I have no idea what they would have used in the day, but they were able to determine the speed of light. And what is the speed of light? You guys have to tell me that. Okay, it's in your textbook. We've got this big Google machine here. You guys can tell me what the speed of light is. Okay, but it's a very, very important discovery, and it is used in a lot of mathematical equations. There's a very, very famous one out there by some dude named Albert that came up with a very, very famous equation that uses the speed of light. And that's it. Okay, so that was it for this section. I'm showing a few more slides here, which you don't need to know about. We'll go back to the Millennium Falcon. From here, I'd like you guys to work on application questions. I will be honest, I'm doing this video probably a week before I'm going to post it. So I'm not sure exactly what these questions are going to look like, if they're going to be right from our note package or if I'm going to come up with some new ones, but you'll have some questions to answer. You guys are going to need to know what these scientists do. And I want to come up with some sort of activity. Maybe you guys are going to record something on Flipgrid or whatnot, or just maybe just type me a nice little story. I know you might be a little shy. I'd be shy on outlining what these historians discovered about light. Okay. Oh, one more. All of this led to properties of light. Okay. Okay, so we have 4 properties of light that came out of these individuals' discoveries. Okay, so the 4 properties of light you should have listed already in the light up your life demonstration, but we mentioned all of them. First one is light travels in straight lines. Next is light is a form of energy. Next is light can be reflected. And finally, it is light can bend or be refracted. Okay, so make sure you guys know those. That's it. Have a good one. The next lesson is just going to be on optical devices, and that will be posted tomorrow. Bye.